Do you have days where you just feel meh, like things are just going okay or average for you? Well, you're not alone because I also have days where I just feel meh or like my life is meh. So when things are not going the way you want them to, what do? It's so easy to get caught up in thoughts like I'm not good enough or I'm just behind everybody in life, but are these thoughts serving us? How can we approach a life that feels meh in a new way that serves us well and doesn't just make us run away from all the problems?
So the first thing I would suggest is, it sounds really simple, but it's actually super duper important. And I myself tend to try to avoid doing this, but basically it's to acknowledge how you feel and to feel your feelings and not to run away from your problems either. I'm the kind of person who when I run into a bad feeling or a problem, I just kind of try to avoid it, or I'm trying to reframe everything into something more optimistic. And if I have a problem, I'm like, oh well, this problem's actually good because XYZ. And something I learned when I had a life coach was there were multiple sessions where I had some strong feelings, and then my life coach just told me to just sit there and then breathe into the feeling and really feel it in my body. And that just felt so foreign to me because I feel like I'm the kind of person, as an Enneagram 7, I just want to distract myself and run away from all the problems, and I hate feeling negative. So that is something I learned that I'm trying to do more of, and it is getting easier, and it's just to take the time to sit with my feelings, this feeling of meh or whatever negative feeling it is, and to then acknowledge it and then then do something about it. And this is important because it's you're more in tune with yourself. You really do understand yourself, and you're not just running away from everything that makes you feel bad. So the next thing I want to bring up is this concept of changing your locus of control from external to internal. If you don't know the concept of locus of control, it's this concept in psychology where it's basically your perception of the underlying causes of things happening in your life. So it could be external or internal. Just to give you an example, if I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my business is not growing, a external locus of control would be thinking oh, the economy just sucks, or the YouTube algorithm just sucks and I'm just not lucky, and so that's why I'm not getting the results. Everything is outside of my control, YouTube algorithm and the economy. But an internal locus of control is kind of thinking okay, maybe I just haven't figured it out yet. Maybe it's my strategy, or I haven't found a way to reach my target audience in the best way. But if I keep believing in myself and I keep showing up, then gonna happen. I will get the results that I want. So when you change your locus of control from external to internal, it's you taking control back of your life, because then your thoughts and your actions and your feelings, those are the things that will drive the results, not anything external. Because when you let external circumstances or external things, or just situations that happen to you, control your life, you really feel out of control, and you can't get a handle on things, and it just feels like life is happening to you and you are not in control. The next concept that I think would be useful for you is this concept of having a victim mentality, which is not what we should be having. There's a book called Hero on a Mission by Donald Miller, and I think it's such a great book because it illustrates when we go through our life, we kind of play a character. So let me just read this from the Amazon description of the book because I think it's really good. So if we play the victim, we're doomed to fail. If we play the villain, we will not create genuine bonds. If we play the hero or guide, our lives will flourish. And the hard part is being self-aware enough to know which character we are playing. The Amazon also has this really good chart. So you can see basically for the victim, it's the one who feels they have no way out. And for a lot of us, we have this victim mentality because we think things happen to us and woe is us, and our life sucks because these things just happen to us. So that's the victim. The villain is the one who makes other people small all. The hero is the one willing to face their challenges and transform, and then the guide is the one who helps the hero. I know there are 4 characters, but I think the 2 most important for us to focus on is the villain. Sorry, not the villain, the victim. Not like having the victim mentality that things just happen to you and everything sucks. But if you can like see yourself as the hero, like the main character of your story, I think there's like some YouTube videos about like becoming the main character of your story. Like you becoming the hero, you can really like go on this journey of like transforming your life. And maybe there are a lot of challenges, but like what does a hero do? They like grow and they change and they make those challenges into something that can make them a better person, or like they are able to transform their life and they take control, they like take action on the story that they want to create. And okay, I know there are like things that you can't really change about your life. For example, the family you were born into, or like the country you grew up in, or maybe like things that happened in your childhood. Like those things maybe you couldn't control, but what you can control is your mindset and how you see things, or like you can forgive people. Like you can't change the situations that you're in, but you can change how you think about them and how you feel about them. And don't let those things dictate how you're going to live the rest of your life, because you are the one who you create your own story of what you want those things to mean. If you create your story in a way where those like negative things can actually like propel you into like growing as a person, then like those negative things aren't actually negative things. Those are just things that happened in your life. The next thing that has really helped me a lot when I feel just negative or meh about life is like really thinking about what is the main sentence that is like running my life right now. And I think for a lot of us throughout our lives, there's like an unconscious belief that we have, or like a sentence that we keep repeating to ourselves. For me, it's the sentence like, I'm not good enough, or XYZ is not good enough, just everything is not good enough. And I just always look for evidence that supports this statement. Like I do it unconsciously. And what happens is like this sentence just kind of, because it's like so deep down, like it just kind of like runs your life, and you like live your everyday life with this sentence in mind. Do you know what I mean? So I know it's like really not easy to like, you can't just like flip a switch and like change your sentence, but I think the first step is like being aware, because of a lot of us, like before I wasn't really aware that I had that thought, like I'm not good enough. And it's like a thought that I've had my entire life. So the first thing is like being aware of that. And then the second thing is embracing like another thought. It's not like you're escaping from the original thought, but it's just like another belief that you can believe and then like find evidence for. So for me, like right now, a sentence that I really, really like is like, I can effing do this. Like I can do this, and I am good enough to like do the things that I want to do. And I look for evidence. And part of that is leading into my next point, which is like celebrating the little wins and being grateful for what you already have. Like if I'm feeling really bad about my business, I can think about like, what is actually going well? Okay, maybe I didn't get 100 sales, but hey, I got 10 sales, and it means it's working. Maybe it's not to the point that I want it to be right now, but it is working, and I will get there eventually. Like when I celebrate the little wins like that, like I feel more motivated to keep going. The next thing you can do, if you feel like there's just like a lot of things going on in your life, and maybe it's just, it feels a bit out of control, everything is just it's to ground yourself. So I have made an in-depth video on how to ground yourself and like the techniques I use to ground myself. So if you want to change your life and build habits that can ground yourself, then make sure you check out this video.